So what we're going to do now is move our home page outside of the navbar, and our navbar itself is only going to be visible once a user is logged in eventually. We're not at that stage yet though, but we'll set up the structure for what we're doing. So let's head back to VS Code. I'm just going to clean up the open tabs, and let's open our home page. And what I want to do inside here is just add a link so that we can go to our activities once we've moved it outside of the navbar. Now, to keep things simple, I'm not going to worry about styling. I'm just going to add a h3 tag and say go to. And inside the go to, I'm just going to add a link and bring this in from React Router DOM. And inside the link, I'm going to say to equals / activities. And I'll just say activities inside the link. And if we just take a look at this, then we've now got a link we can click on to go to our activities. But what we want to do is move the home page outside of the navbar. So let's go to our app.tsx. And currently, our home page is inside a container, inside this fragment, and if we try and move it above the navbar, just for example, and take a look at the effects this has had, well, it's had no effect whatsoever because we're still displaying the navbar, which is fixed to the top of our page. So moving our home page just above the navbar doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So how do we get our home page actually outside of our navbar? Well, we only want to render what's highlighted here when our path is something other than the home page. And one of the properties that our root component can take is a render property. So what we can do is add an additional root, and I'll just say roots, and we'll give this a path, and our path can take an expression, and what we'll do is we'll add apostrophes, say /, and then in brackets here, what we'll do is add a period and then plus. And this just means that when we're hitting a root with a / and anything else, then this is the root that's going to match. And when we're just at our home page, or we've just got a /, then this is the root that's going to match. And what we want to do is, after our path, we want to say render equals, add the curly braces, and then what we want to do is add an arrow function, and inside here we're going to return our navbar and the container. Now, of course, we're getting an error because these are two siblings, and this is not allowed, so we need to surround this in another React fragment. So I'm just going to add a fragment, and cut and paste our navbar and the container and put it inside here and reformat. And what this should achieve is now, if I go back and check and just refresh the page, we've got our home page. It looks pretty terrible, I agree, and I can click on activities and I'm taken to the activities and go home and activities. And obviously we're going to style this a bit better, but we'll leave styling to the next section. And there's just one more thing I want to do, and that's to solve this particular problem of the scrolling issue. And we'll take a look at that next.